Heyo guys, I'm Mason in the Dark. I'm completely blind and today I'm here with my review for El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Gonna talk non-spoilers for a little minute and then probably get into a couple of spoilers, but I'll give you a proper warning before I get into that. Non-spoiler wise though, I've got to say, if you liked Breaking Bad, you're gonna like this film for the most part. I think there'll be a few people that'll be like, well, I didn't like it because of this, but for the most part, I think that this was a solid, tight addition to the Breaking Bad universe that never intruded on any of the fantasies that I'd had about Jesse Pinkman and how he got away and what happened to him afterwards, etc., etc. I was worried that they were going to tack stuff on, force stuff in, that we were going to get cameos that we didn't need, and that the story would get ruined, but it really, really didn't. We got a nice, tight story that really didn't have that much happen in, but the moments that we did get were really great. It's a tight story, it's a short story, and in the end, it's still just as satisfying of an ending as the one that we got in Breaking Bad. We get a couple of familiar faces, as well as a couple of great moments from Aaron Paul as Jesse Pinkman, and all in all, it's really just more of the same, but in a good way. You're gonna like this if you enjoyed Breaking Bad. It was a solid 2 hours for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Audio description was sort of essential, really. There was a lot of stuff in this that I'll maybe touch on during the spoilers that I really wouldn't have been able to see, that I wouldn't have gotten, but thankfully Netflix audio describes most of the original content, and this was no exception. So if you're like me and you're visually impaired, rest assured, audio descriptions on this, and it really, really does help to sighted viewers. It really, really was essential. So thanks, I guess, for paying your Netflix subscriptions, because it keeps a company like that going that has the audio description on most things and helps me to enjoy an addition to a series that I really, really love. And like I say, if you liked Breaking Bad, just go watch this because you're going to love it. So now I'm going to talk spoilers. So this is your spoiler warning. If you watched El Camino, then carry on through here. But if you haven't, just seriously, what are you doing? Just go and watch it. Unless you don't care about spoilers, in which case you can stick around. I'm going to start talking spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Man, this film was short, intense, and really, really gripping, as well as just entertaining, funny in parts. I just love Aaron Paul as Jesse Pinkman. I was afraid that this would intrude on his story and trample over any of the thoughts that I might have had about how he got away and what happened afterwards, but it really never did that. And in the end, it actually ends in a fairly open-ended way anyway. It answers a few of the questions, like where he goes. Obviously ends up in Alaska, and that's a good one. I'm really glad, because that was one of the ones that I always thought. I think it's one that a lot of people that watch Breaking Bad thought, because he actually mentioned it, but they still leave it at an open-ended point of you don't know what's going to happen when he walks up that road and into the town in Alaska. You don't know what life he's going to have, who he's going to meet, and what he's going to do. And I just really enjoyed that it was such an open ending. I really like that it just picked up straight from where it left off. We get that exuberant "I'm free" scream of Jesse, but this time it continues and we get to see him trying to get away, and there's that really intense scene where all the cop cars are just streaming past him, and it's sort of reminiscent of that moment from the first episode of Breaking Bad where the same sort of thing's happening to Walter, except this time the cop cars are actually looking for him. And it was a really, really intense. A lot of this film was just me like, get out of there, Jesse, get out of there. The bit with Skinny Pete and Badger was great. The fact that they're just playing video games when he gets there. And then they instantly get to helping him. Skinny Pete a little bit more than Badger, but Badger still helps in the end. The fact that Pete comes up with the he comes up with the idea of having Badger take the car that the police are looking for, and Jesse heading the other way and swapping cars, etc., etc. It's all just really great. Shows that Skinny Pete's not just an idiot and that he really cares about Jesse, The reaction when he first knocks on the door and Pete opens and he's just like, Jesse? And he seems so happy to see him. Actually, one of the things that made me happy about this was the fact that the trailer was a completely separate thing that they just shot. The whole way through this, I was like, so when we get in that scene with Pete then, when the police are talking to him and he's like, I'm not going to help you track down Jesse. And they didn't have it. It was just a completely separate thing that they shot for the trailers that happened during the movie. And I think that was a really clever thing. That way we didn't see any of the film. Really like that. Flashbacks of Todd. I was like, oh no, of all of the people, we get the stupid flashback of Todd as he's as Jesse's looking through Todd's apartment for the money that we find out that he's left behind through all the little flashbacks of him murdering the housekeeper and getting Jesse to get rid of it and pretending to be nice to him and taking him out of the cage and just being a general creepy little psycho that not Matt Damon is. He used to be my least favourite in anything these days. We got Negan, but he's definitely on my shortlist of like top 5 or 10 characters that I just really, really hate. I don't know why. He just always rubbed me up the wrong way. These days I don't have it quite as bad because I don't have to look at his stupid little face. But still, the character, just a complete psycho, and all the bits with Jesse and him are great. The stupid fake cops that come looking for his money while Jesse's in the apartment, all of that was great too, with Jesse sort of showing how smart he is with causing a bit of a distraction and stuff, and all the nosy neighbour who won't leave them alone thinks that the fake cops are cops and wants to give them as much information as he possibly can, and that's all really cool. Jesse just basically forcing them into a 3-way split is really cool. And then that just makes it all that more gutting too when he goes to the vacuum guy's place and he's like, I need a new life. And the vacuum guy just pretends that he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's gone to his shop. All of that was great, that whole scene with Jesse being like, you're the man. I know you're the guy. I'm 96% sure you're the guy because the red van that you picked me up in is out there. It looks like a kidney bean. It looks exactly the same. I know you're the guy. As well as when the vacuum guy calls the police, Jesse's like, he didn't just call the police. They're going to come here and ask why I'm here trying to give you all this money. You've got way more to lose than I have. And then the police car pulls up outside and the vacuum guy's just like, gotta love those response times. And just that bit was a true Jesse Pinkman moment. He was almost back to being the old Jesse, because he's definitely not old Jesse in this one. He is the Jesse that you see at the end of Breaking Bad. He's emotionally and psychologically messed up from everything that happened. He gets PTSD flashbacks of being in the cage when he's lying in Pete's house in the bed. He sees the bars above him, etc, etc. That's one of the things that I would have missed without audio description, which is, I'm grateful that it was there, as well as when Jesse was looking round the apartment. That was definitely a place where we needed the audio description, because without the audio description, him looking round the apartment would have just been noises of him looking through things. And the only thing that I say with the audio description is it maybe spoiled the fact that the money was in the fridge, because it mentioned the fridge so much. But I think maybe if you were just looking visually, you'd have been like, yeah, it's the fridge, there's something weird with that. All of the story was just so great as I'm thinking about it now. So, the vacuum guy, he is going to take his money, but he's 1,800 short and he's got rules. And Jesse, it's such a gut punch, the fact that he's that close to buying his way into this new life, and the guy will take him, but he's just 1,800 short. So obviously he has to go and get it from the fake cops that we see in a flashback, where people that Todd's family went and paid to make the shackles and the chains and the bars that he was kept in. And they had little games where they made him run to see if he could break the chains, and that was brutal and sad, just like it was when it was in Breaking Bad. Not that scene, but the fact that he was being kept in those situations that I didn't quite realise were so bad, because my eyes didn't work quite that well. So this time I was having it audio described to me and I was like, poor Jesse. Poor Jesse is something that I definitely said multiple times in this film. Probably the most gut-wrenching thing is he sees his family on TV basically saying he should turn himself in, but that gives him the idea to go and get his dad's guns so he can rob the fake cop captor guys, and ends up having a duel, because apparently the coked up hooker having fake cop guy is like, let's have a duel. And Jesse pulls the "I've got a second gun in my pocket" trick that the guy just didn't see coming, and then that's sort of it. It all just goes from there. And I guess maybe the way I've talked about it hasn't made it sound like the best film, but it was really tight and intense, and it felt like Jesse had the net coming down on him constantly. And I always wanted him to get out of there. It felt super intense, and it just made me... It put me right back in that world of caring about Jesse and wanting him to get away and being like, come on, constantly just hoping that we're going to end it good. Like, don't end it with him in prison or dead or something like that. So the fact that we got the ending with him going to Alaska was just the cherry on top for me, because that's the ending that I wanted. So I do wonder how people who imagine something different felt. Yeah, we also get to see Jane, sorry, I'm thinking of it because of Jessica Jones, but we get to see a little flashback of Jane where she tells him that just going where the universe takes you is bullshit, that you should make your own destiny, and we get a little flashback of Walter and Jesse just after the first kook of meth, where they're talking about how they're going to shift it, and Walter asks him if there's anyone that they could sell the whole 1.3 million to, which sort of alludes to the whole Tuco thing, and that scene really serves to show you how far both of them came, and just to remind you that even Walter, who is confirmed dead during this film, which I liked, even though he was a horrible man at the end, it showed you what he was like at the start and reminded you that it was supposed to be for his family, and showed you how goofy and just likeable Jesse was in the beginning. So I really liked that bit. So all in all, I really liked this movie. I just thought that if you like Breaking Bad, you're going to love this. I definitely did. I thought it was a great performance by Aaron Paul and everyone involved, and it left it to a point where I was happy with it and left it open-ended so we can still all imagine. So I was really happy with that. So yeah, my recommendation is go watch it, and if you are visually impaired like me, still... because they all... Sorry, I don't know why that just messed up on me. Yeah, if you're visually impaired like me, go and watch it, because it's got audio description that really helps. If you enjoyed this review and want me to do more like this, click the like button and let me know, and share your thoughts about El Camino in the comments section, or on Twitter at Mason_WITD, or join the Discord server that I'll be posting in the description. Really appreciate all the feedback and the friendship, guys. I'm off, and you should have a good one.